on Earth. Caribou. This is Tanzania. The United Republic of Tanzania in East Africa is bordered by 8 countries and the Indian Ocean on the east. It's twice the size of California, making it the 3rd largest country in Africa. It's also one of the world's greatest tourist attractions. Out of Tanzania's 15 national parks, wildlife preserves, and game preserves, the #1 attraction is the Serengeti. Since the 1950s, the majestic, awe-inspiring Serengeti Plains National Park, 5,700 square miles of pristine, untouched beauty, has been considered one of the most significant wildlife sanctuaries in existence. Ready to go on safari? You won't find any streetlights or busy intersections here. This is nature in all its purity. The Serengeti is home to more than 4 million animals, including the largest population of lions you'll find anywhere on the planet. This land is breathtaking, from the verdant hills to the baobab trees to the wild residents. In Tanzania, animals are everywhere you look: land, sky, in the trees, and in the water. They're even walking around your hotel. They seem just as curious about us as we are about them. So don't be surprised if an elephant or a monkey wants a closer look at you. But you definitely want to keep a fair distance from this cat. The African lion. Smart, cunning, super fast, and super strong. They're expert hunters. They prowl in prides, and they rule this place. And while it's exciting to see them on the hunt, the safest time to observe them is when they're, well, lying around. You might want to keep your cameras out. Cheetahs are the track stars of the savannah, accelerating faster than a Ferrari and reaching speeds up to 70 miles per hour, making them the fastest animals on land. Hyenas are probably the boldest little carnivores you'll find in the Serengeti. These tough little guys are not afraid to challenge lions. Hyenas also have a bad reputation for stealing from other animals. Yep, even the king of the jungle. Now that's bold. That's the sound hyenas make when it's time to feed, or when they're frightened. Laugh it up, guys. Long sought after for its valuable ivory tusks, but now a protected species, the African elephant is considered by many to be the true king of the Serengeti. According to the Tanzanian Wildlife Research Institute, elephant numbers are sadly on the decline. Despite strictly enforced laws against poaching, the illegal practice continues. You'll notice that elephants, like humans, form bonds of friendship for life. They also have a playful sense of humor. If you hate moving, be grateful you're not a wildebeest. Wildebeests migrate every year, and every year, tourists come to watch. The migrating herd can grow to 1.5 million, all marching in unison from Tanzania to Kenya, in time for the rainy season, which means richer grass to eat. They risk their lives crossing croc-infested rivers. Zebras migrate along with them. And you can see it all from land or water. A boat ride through the rivers of the Serengeti brings you up close with almost every animal here. They come to drink, to cross, to cool off, and to hunt. Check out the incredible variety of birds that fill the sky over the Serengeti. There are even birds that can't fly, but can run much faster than you. Don't leave Tanzania without visiting Mount Kilimanjaro, Kili for short. It's the world's tallest freestanding mountain. At 19,341 feet, it's Africa's highest peak. You can climb Kili to Uhuru Point, the summit. There are 6 climbing routes and various levels of difficulty, and expert guides to lead you. Welcome back to the coolest places on Earth. Let's jump in the water. Welcome to the water just off the coast of Queensland, Australia. The area is famous for beautiful opals, sun-drenched beaches, and for being the entry point for one of the biggest wonders of the natural world, the Great Barrier Reef. Visible from space beneath the clear, shallow waters of the Coral Sea off the coast of Queensland, the Great Barrier Reef is one of the world's largest coral reef systems, consisting of nearly 3,000 individual reefs, close to 900 islands, and a rich ecosystem that supports the life of more colorful birds, unusual plants, and astonishing underwater creatures than anywhere else on Earth. The reef's variety of hard corals, billions of tiny living organisms, or coral polyps, is staggering. Some of the corals could be as much as 20,000 years old. The entire reef, which expands over 1,500 miles of Queensland coast, is so massive and the water so crystal clear that astronauts can see it from the International Space Station. But they can't see this. For colors this bright and this various, you have to dive in. More than 2 million tourists visit the reef each year, which is great for Queensland, great for wildlife awareness, but maybe not so great for the reef itself. Despite the abundance of life here, many of these species are endangered, but the most fragile animal here is the one that created the structure: coral. Coral is so sensitive to temperature that a slight rise can be lethal. Cairns, the capital city of far north Queensland, is the gateway to the Great Barrier Reef. Once there, the reef is accessible in a dozen ways. You can see it from overhead via helicopter or seaplane. Most visitors take a cruise, but you can also charter a sailboat or go by dinghy, luxury yacht, or even a glass-bottom boat. The best experience is underwater. But along the way, you can explore the beautiful white sand beaches of dozens of coral sea islands. Check your gear. Pressurize your mask. Now let's dive. The Great Barrier Reef is a technicolor marvel. The waters teem with life. Over 4,000 different species. Living amongst the coral, you'll find everything from humpback whales to clownfish, and varieties of dolphins, sea urchins, and sea turtles, which can live to be 100, saltwater crocodiles, sea snakes, several species of sharks, mollusks like cuttlefish, squid, and octopus, stingrays, seahorses, spiny lobsters, and several different species of seagrass. And these sea cucumbers aren't vegetables. The reef is also home to 6 species of sea turtles, which lay their eggs in the island sands. The temperature of the sand will dictate if the turtle will be born a girl or a boy. Cool means male, hot means girl. Once these little turtles hatch, it's a mad dash to the water to escape hungry birds. If they survive, they can live to be 100. The shape-shifting mimic octopus lives at the bottom of the reef, contorting itself to look like lionfish or a dangerous sea snake to avoid being eaten. Above the water are 200 species of shorebirds, 2,000 species of plants on the various islands, and 23 species of marine reptiles, including crocodiles. Despite the life that springs from this place, the Great Barrier Reef has lost more than half of its coral in the last 25 years due to natural occurrences like climate change, which warms the ocean and causes coral bleaching. Overfishing is another danger, as are the divers who break coral by standing on it. And last but not least, the crown of thorns starfish, which feeds on coral polyps, has devastated the reef. So local biologists are experimenting with new approaches to controlling the pests. And they seem to be working. We're back with more of the coolest places on Earth. The Amazon River Basin is home base to the largest tropical rainforest in the world, over 2.5 million square miles. Beautiful, mysterious, and bursting with the most extraordinary abundance of life. From the smallest creature to the strangest, over 30% of the world's animal, reptile, and bird species live here. No other place on Earth has such a diversity of life. The Amazon is also so dense with vegetation that it's called the lungs of the Earth because it produces 20% of the world's oxygen. 40,000 plant species can be found here, as well as 2.5 million insect species. The rainforest stretches across most of the northern portion of South America, spread between 9 countries, but the majority of the Amazon, about 40%, resides in Brazil. The rainforest is larger than the entire continent of Europe and almost the same size as America's 48 contiguous states. There are 4 layers to the rainforest. The emergent layer is the highest, some 200 feet above the forest floor, and it's where butterflies, eagles, and bats reside. Next is the canopy layer, which forms a roof of leaves and branches over the forest. It's home to tree dwellers like toucans, tree frogs, and boas. The underlayer is next, where you'll find huge plants, like delicious pineapple plants. Last, but certainly not least, is the forest floor. It's dark because only about 1% of available sunlight filters through the canopy above. It takes a single raindrop at least 10 minutes to reach the forest floor. Your best gateways to the Amazon are Peru, Brazil, and Ecuador. If you want to see a lot of wildlife, a small guided boat cruise along the Amazon's many tributaries provides a safe but adventurous path inside. You can go bird watching or fishing for piranha. Seriously, they're actually quite tasty and a local favorite. Trek through the ecological park's many scenic trails. And having a guide with you is also a good way to help spot animals, including jaguars. These big cats belong to the same family as lions. The name comes from the indigenous term jaguar, which means he who kills with one leap. And unlike lions, these big cats are solitary, so seeing one is rare and lucky. When the sun goes down, out come the bats, including the vampire bat. Over 950 different species hang upside down here in the rainforest, and every species has its own unique method of survival. And it's true, vampire bats do feed on blood. They can sneak up on their prey completely undetected, so you might not want to be trekking through the Amazon after dark. Of course, they're also no bigger than your thumb. Of the 17 types of parrots, macaws are the largest in the tropical rainforest. Their vibrant feathers make them easy to spot. But before you look, listen. Their ear-piercing voices are unmistakable. This is one secret to spotting animals in the rainforest. Let your ears guide you. The majority of Earth's reptiles live in the Amazon, including the anaconda. They can grow up to 37 feet. It can take an anaconda days, sometimes weeks, to digest its food, and weigh over 500 pounds. And what does an anaconda eat? Anything it wants, including capybaras. And sometimes caimans, members of the alligator family. You want to avoid big guys like these, but there are a couple of little guys you want to steer clear of as well. Poison dart frogs are brightly colored, but not because they want to be pretty. It's a warning to other rainforest animals